Hey traders, welcome to another edition of the Crypto Lab with Alex, every Thursday featured by Trading Analysis. I hope you are all well. As usual, we're going to go through a little bit of macro environment, and then we're going to look what is going on in the crypto space. Please put your comments or requests for the charts on some cryptos in the chat box, so we can look at them later when I finish the main part of the presentation. Let's start immediately and let's look what is going on a little bit on a macro space. I will start with the 10-year yields. I'm going to put these charts to be a little bit bigger so you can see them. We have a Jackson Hole meeting. It's going to be a virtual one starting actually today and lasting until Saturday. We also have on the 3rd of September a very important NFP report, and we have a Fed meeting on 21st of September. So these all are important dates because of the possible change or a kind of a small shift. I will not say small, but let's say middle shift regarding policy stance. Maybe if we get a solid NFP report. Sorry, I'm too much in cryptos. We might see a kind of announcements of some sort of tapering or a closer prediction for the moving up in rates. 10-year yields is something which is widely looked in the world. We also track that for this macro outlook for our members as well. And for now, we are holding this support around 114, and we are going a little bit higher. This is not enough to establish a possibility that we are going to continue up towards 2%. We will see. So I will wait a little bit more on these rates to see a move above 1.5% to kind of a structural possibility. We are going to see a five-way move on the upside, targeting a little bit above 2%. If we fail from here without reaching 1.5 or 1.55, then we are going to be in danger of forming of a five-way move to the downside, which will be then breaking of these support levels and actually going down into the region of 1. So I will say I will stay a little bit neutral until this Jackson Hole meeting passes, and especially 3rd of September, because I think rates will greatly react to some announcements from the Jackson Hole and as well possibly on this NFP report on 3rd of September. Rates in Europe, this is the chart of the German 10-year Bund, and this is the price. It is the same chart but inverted. It's actually yields. I use this because of the better wave structure. I can see subdivisions a little bit better, and now we are still in some type of consolidation, which I think will on the end finish in some type of a triangle, and then we will go again into deflationary cycles. So things are pretty much unchanged there. In Europe, economy goes a little bit slower and it's less vibrant than in US. So this kind of moves, it's a kind of appropriate what is going on there now. Let's transgress into something which we think might pose a little bit of a danger regarding cryptos. So this is the current futures on the Nasdaq. This is the 1-hour chart and our overall wave count. I will not go into that from the lows of 2020 COVID crisis, but this is what we look as a potentially a last sequence. I know it's very hard, and many traders and investors was kind of a predicting a stock market highs, and that is a very unforgiving feature in the last couple of years towards the accounts which were shorting the stock market. I will just emphasize that we see actually from the trading analysis team, which leads stocks, namely Todd, Bennett, and Terry, some possible levels where we might see some reaction, and in Nasdaq this reaction levels comes around 15,400 to 15,600, so it will be in this zone. And as you can see, we are forming some type of a pattern. This is a smaller time frame. It's not to be so important, but this should be a last sequence. So we will be watching these levels very carefully in the days to come and what will happen from there. So let me just move to gold and just show you the dollar and gold chart. So dollar index, not much of a change. It is not so useful to watch a dollar against the Bitcoin or vice versa, because basically in 2008-9, while the dollar after the great financial crisis was moving on the upside, Bitcoin was moving too for the next almost 10 years. So they were going in synchronicity upside, but we saw a change in a COVID crisis start in March 2020, and we label this as a five-way move with a possible small truncation when we expect a small pullback and the continuation of the dollar rally at least to these levels and maybe higher. So let's go one wave at a time. Gold is reacted on the last line that we saw on these support levels. So it's still in some type of a consolidation. I got some questions between these two crypto labs regarding the wave count on these structures. And I always say, don't look so much into this kind of a labelings. We go back and forth with different labels because we cannot identify still what is going on here. Usually fourth waves of the smaller or larger degrees can be very complicated. So as you can see, labeling me this as a W, X possible Y, that's just one of the counts. Triangle is one of the next one also possible. So this can be a wave, complex wave A up in B, testing these levels or a little bit higher, and then we go down C, D, and E, and then when this is complete, we go higher. So we are still observing this as definitely a sideways consolidation, which we think it's going to result either from a sideways consolidation or a little bit lower levels, possibly at the end of 2021 to higher levels above 2000. So we monitor this carefully for our members, and we still consider this to be a sideways movement resulting in the upside price action after its completion. So let's look a little bit of silver, and that will conclude our macro kind of outlook, just to see these basic assets classes which might impact some crypto movements. So silver is still in some type of a triangle. As you can see, almost 1 year consolidation here. It started to consolidate around I think August 2020, and it's still in big consolidation. So also several wave counts are possible here. I have this one like 3 waves down, 3 waves up, and a possible ending diagonal in a C wave, which will be a 5-wave move, so 3-3-5 pattern with a regular flats. What people don't know much regarding even in the Elliott wave world is that regular flats are very rare. Usually you get a running or the other types of flats unfolding. So this one might be the one in place. So I'm just still observing, not doing anything. I just can notice technically that these resistance and support levels are holding for now, and that will be my guiding levels going forward. So potentially we might go a little bit higher maybe in this wave 4, and then a final push down with the gold as well towards this 2120 levels, from where we might see some type of an impulsive confirmation for the continuation of this possible trend on the upside when this consolidation completes. So let's go to the juicy stuff. Let's move into cryptos. And as the last time, I would like to begin this with this total market cap in cryptos, which I think it's a very important chart. I didn't see people doing analysis much on this one. I track some of the works of some of my friends, which are also in the Elliott Wave world, and also I look to see what is going on. And I don't see much of a people covering this crypto market cap because also you can do some type of a wave analysis or a technical analysis on it. And currently, as I said last time, this is a very, for now, a sideways consolidation. So the next target in a crypto market cap will be pretty sizable if we continue to consolidate in a sideways manner. Okay, so this is for now. Of course, I would not like to see these levels on the downside or on the upside broken because any break of these levels will mean that either we're going to continue immediately after a week or two, or maybe even 3 on the upside towards this target, or we're going to accumulate more energy towards the end of 2021 and then continue towards this first target is 4.7. And the secondary target is around 6.1 trillion of market cap, which actually kind of a telegraph that the market cap in crypto space will increase even 2-3 times, which will last for half a year or even more on the upside. So I think this chart is very important because also this is a representative of a Bitcoin chart, because currently Bitcoin has the biggest market cap, and it's basically the same chart, but of course this might change in the future as Ether and potentially some other coins are gaining rapidly in market cap exposure, and they're basically infrastructure and also usable projects in the crypto space, so I will greatly agree with that. And this also agrees with some of the analysis we do on some main cryptos that they might experience bigger moves on the upside when this consolidation or a break, immediate break happens on this crypto market cap. So I think this one is very important. So we're going to continue to monitor this for you every Thursday. I think not much of a news in the coin desk. There is one thing which I read today, this morning. This is an interesting one. Bitcoin mining difficulty rises, extended recovery after China crackdown. So it means that capacities of the mining are still not expanded in the amount that China closed them down. So that process is probably is going to take place for another 6 months to 1 year until we reach a full operational capacity to cover all of the transactions in the crypto Bitcoin world. So they said that mining difficulty increased by 13%. So I think that is the cause. Anyhow, I mean, I don't think that will affect price so much. And one of the interesting things I saw as well a couple of days, the people which are following the Glassnode or the analysis of what's going on in the center of the cryptos regarding wallets, longer term to shorter term holds, and all of that stuff, which I think it's useful to one extent. I mean, you can clearly have a visual what is going between some holders which has the biggest holding in Bitcoin. Do they move their coins to exchanges or not? And we have seen, if you search that on the internet, that in the last couple of days we have seen an increased number of coins move to the exchange, and definitely when you move something in exchange, possibly you want to liquidate your position. So that was also a noticeable thing um, on this matrix. So let me go to a larger time frame Bitcoin chart that we track. As you know, we still don't have a clear confirmation regarding this move on the upside. We had a small initial a potential nice move down, which we published yesterday for our members. So we had identified this as a 5-way move to the downside, and this as a potential retracement with a zone from where we overshoot a little bit and then collapse down to this measured move. Actually, this measured move came exactly to this 200 moving average. As you can see, if I close this a little bit closer, and it's normal to have a little bit of bounce off from there. I will not be very optimistic if we break this 200 moving average and continue down to this 43 levels. The next key zone is from 40 to 43 levels hold, and break of that will definitely, I think, signal that we are in some type of a larger C wave on the downside in the proposed triangle. So I'm still, of course, not sure. As I said, the fourth waves can morph, and they're one of the most difficult um, uh, charts to trade when you have a fourth wave consolidation for traders. So many options are still on table here, even 20K. So all depends what we are going to do in the next couple of days. But if you pair this potential news into a let's say, macro environment, and if this news starts to be on the sides that Fed is going to signal a tapering or a sooner interest rate reversals, this might get nasty if we get a pullback in the stock market. So I'm just mentioning that to be aware. I'm still not biased to any of these kind of predictions regarding Bitcoin going immediately upside or downside. I'm just watching. I have my key levels where I think that after we cross some of these points, that some major events in the cryptos or Bitcoin might happen. So I'm patiently waiting and observing what is going on. I will not say, I will maybe be a little bit more biased to the downside if I see 43, 40K broken. The probability will increase that this some type of this, let's say, usually triangles has a complex or a simple ABCs or a double zigzags to the downside. So maybe if we break these levels, I will go to the next support, which comes around 37K, possibly for the wave A, up in B, down in C. So then these levels here will definitely provide a next support line. So that will be on the possible bearish scenario, but it's mildly bearish because triangles can take so much time to unfold. And if that is the case, we're going to have a wave C, up in D and E, and this can last even to December or January, December 2021, January 2022. So I'm still watching having these two scenarios. This one is the bullish one, which says we might correct a little bit more and then go towards this 53, 54 K. And if we pass above this 786, I might change a little bit of stance and then I will observe this as a three-wave pullback. And then I will probably be more biased towards a continuation in some of the targets that we have, which are above 100K. So I'm just still patiently waiting some of these clues, kind of a small details that people, which look, which are experienced in the Elliott wave world, and just doing these small time frames a little bit up and down. So that is all which I will still do until I see some clarity here, which I still don't. So I'm still juggling between these wave counts. Of course, this wave 3 on this higher time frame, if you can see, I'm looking this for these two corrections to be equal in time. which will come around the new year, and then we will get expansion higher in line with our crypto market cap chart, and we can see on many cryptos the same patterns. Although in a Bitcoin triangle, some of the alts are exhibiting a little bit more aggressive patterns, which I will show you, and that keeps me a little bit more on the sideline because I see on these altcoins that we might see ABC pullback while this consolidation in Bitcoin trace out in triangle. Okay, I forgot to show you the also something which we look, and that is a Bitcoin dominance chart, and in that chart things are not much changed. We identify this for now as a potential fourth wave. We have been tracking this relatively successfully for already a couple of years, I will say, and I think I started track this around 2018 with the members, and we identified this as a 335, which is a expanding flat correction, and I think we have a little bit more downside, and that kind of goes well with this Bitcoin consolidation, while the alts might start this move on the upside a little bit more aggressive, and then Bitcoin might take over in the future. So we will definitely in one point have the straight bias regarding the Bitcoin price, but in this moment I don't think it will be wise. I think and usually I try to make some common sense observation. I'm not hyped. I've been long in this market, so I don't want to be biased or hyped by any move. I want to use our tools and try to be more objective without misleading, and try not to mislead either my members or the greater community of you that you are watching this YouTube channel. So I want to be modest and conservative and wait for a clear signs to have a higher probability on our side. Okay, so let's go to the Ether, and we are going to see a similar picture. While Ether is in a little bit better position because this 200 moving average actually is keeping these price points pretty much now already below. So this will also go with some of the possible triangles here. It looks a little bit weird, but some of them do. I will agree. So I'm going to go with the same type of things, although this will be a lot lesser kind of in volatility, maybe in a borders of a triangle. Definitely, this is a big support line. There is two of them. One is very low at 1,000. I don't think we're going to reach that. If we break this 1,800, then we can look, but that is too far. Ether has been moving pretty much higher, and that is in line with its expansion as one of the major infrastructure builders in the Bitcoin, in the crypto space. So I will be looking either something same, or in a bullish wave count, I will be looking what we are going to do at this very important support levels that you see here on daily, which is around 2,900, and the next one is 2,000 at 698. So this will be some of the levels which will be important for me. I will definitely not like to see Ether break these levels, especially this one, because that will actually confirm that we are in some type of this triangle that might unfold. So I'm going to be watching these levels. If we start to move impulsively on the upside, next target will be around 4,000, and then after a small corrections, because we will identify this as a 5-wave sequence, we might continue upside towards these targets, which might go between 5 and 6, even to a higher levels. So that will be definitely above this high, previous high, which we will identify as a possible small resistance here on the completion of the orange wave 3. So we might see some type of triangulation also here, or a small complex pullback, which will take some time, and then Ether will be ready to go pretty much higher, completing this higher degree wave 3 on this wave count. So I'm going to juggle between these two until I see a clear signs. I cannot have a bias here. I don't have really either technically or fundamentally, if I know some of the things from the macro perspective, what is coming to us possibly. So I will still kind of observe what is going on there at the key levels, and then make my decision after I see the signs that we track. If we go and see some of the charts that we presented a couple of times before, we are definitely seeing some of the charts relatively working now. So let me just go on our different platform where we have wave counts on the so this was the shorter term analysis on a Bitcoin. From these highs, we clearly saw a 5-wave move. Subdivisions are pretty much fine without the overlapping of two key corrections. Then a little bit unusual pullback. Usually you will not see this ratio between A and B, but definitely somebody was seeing this as an opportunity to buy a pretty big chunk of Bitcoin, and then it reversed down a little bit higher of the zone to this measured move, which is around 46K. So if we start to see a 5 waves up and a pullback, then we will see the 54 or 55K in advance. If we just do a small pullback and continue, I think we're going to reach 43, 40K as a next level. So we are observing this with our members. If you want to, of course, see some of our work, you can visit Trading Analysis, either for Stock Service, which is greatly covered by Bennett and Terry. Todd is already in his Inside Edge Capital managing money firm completion, and it's going to be up and running soon. So we do have a Wednesday live stream on stocks, and if you like to see what we do on cryptos, you can have a trial and check us out. We have lots of cool features from the members webinars every week. Crypto Trade Desk, we have also a very good and nice crypto Discord group and repository feature where you can see my wave counts immediately if you have a multi-wave as your primary tool, which is, by the way, a beautiful tool for the people which are doing Elliott wave. So let me just show you a couple of other alts which we were looking for possible corrective moves. One of them was Polkadot. We were looking at Polkadot as relatively kind of a bullish development after these 5-wave moves, and I think I started to track Polkadot here. We had our clients trading this move on the upside, and then we were looking, this wave was a little bit shorter. I was thinking we were going a little bit higher, but then it collapsed in a ABC pullback, and from there we have a 5-wave move. So this was a resistance which we showed in the last, I think, couple of crypto labs, which is reacting now to the downside. So we might be starting some of this of the ABC pullback, which will last for a month or so. And if we do a 3-wave pullback down to this zone, you will get also some of the old technical things that some people watch, like inverted head and shoulder. According to the Elliott wave count, that will be a wave 1 down and a wave 2, and then we should see an expansion on the upside. So this also keeps me a little bit awake at night regarding the crypto market cap and also a Bitcoin price action and what it might do. But also Bitcoin dominance chart includes a possibility that Bitcoin will be a little bit more sideways, and we might get a little bit more earlier push up in the altcoins. We also looked ADA. ADA reversed from our levels and I will show you that. Just let me do this first. So we identified very key levels in ADA. Last time we were looking back and forth, are we going to break some of the key resistance levels before, and we did break them pretty much hard. So we identified this as a possible holding zone. There was a big resistance here from this consolidation, and I think I pointed out that this zone might react and be reactive from the other chart. So this might be some type of a leading diagonal or something else. I want to see how this reaction, these levels will react, and the Bitcoin as well. But if we start to move and breaking these levels to the downside, previous wave 4 might be a good levels around 1.9 to 2. I'm still not gonna go for that until I see signs, but I think in that case, and the other cryptos becoming very bullish, ADA unrolled the smart contracts, and this might be a continuation, and then we can anchor this possible wave 4 here and wave 3 of a larger degree on this front, and then consider this to be 1-2 for the higher advance around 5, 6, 10, and even more on the upside. So we pretty much see that the same thing. Also Matic, which I like very much, is displaying some of the move lower from these resistance levels we marked last time. I'm still not sure that these 5 waves are complete. Maybe not. I want to see a 5-way move down, but definitely if I see that and a break of this previous wave 4 lows, we can conclude that we are going to see some type of ABC corrections. If the Bitcoin moves higher, we're going to see a marginal new high and then the same picture. So definitely this will be my target for Matic if I don't see any change. And people's always objecting, you changed your wave count. Yeah, I did, because I see that as a very flexible move. When you do Elliott wave is pretty difficult, and you have to know all of the patterns and to be quick to adjust very quickly and narrow down the probabilities. So Elliott wave is not a forecasting tool, it's just a probability tool. So people expecting that forecasts are going to be right are just expecting something. Who knows where this can go? I can just wait probabilities according to my skills, and then that is all. So I'm trying to do that, and it is working relatively fine up to now. So people objecting me changing wave counts are praying to the wrong church, I will say. So this will be my display and my wave count. Who likes it, who doesn't like it, doesn't have to watch. So I had a wave count which was also looking for this lower line, and I don't think that will be in the hand now. Looking this after this post move, you see this ABC down reached equality. However, even if you put WXY here, this will be a quality measure. So that's a kind of always a measured move we look, and we have a nice 5-wave either finish or a little bit more upside confirmation that we might be in a next bullish cycle. And this bullishness looks very nice on this time frame when you look the subdivisions from lower. So this is a wave 1 and 2, and then a subdivision in 1, 2. So we are still in a higher degree wave 3 here, which has some targets pretty higher from this level. So I'm gonna be looking so what is going on here on these major support levels to try to materialize longs on this and trying to catch these higher targets for the wave 3 if it unfolds. So I just wanted to show you the sentiment and what I see in this crypto market. So I will summarize this as that I will still stay slightly unbiased, but maybe a little bit bearish in the Bitcoin if we break some key levels around 42.40. The first ones are this at 46, so I'm observing that levels. As you can see, my wave counts on the alts are relatively bullish, and most of them are bullish. So I'm going to keep tracking this, what is going on, and I'm going to look some of your requests now, because this first part, let's say, is completed, and I can address your requests. Let me see who is in the room. Hey, Dojan, Ayman, Trade in Motion. I don't know if he's first time here, but welcome. Trepion, our member from Romania, welcome. I mean, I will say hello because we we chat every day almost. George Harper, hello. Bill Lawrence, standard guy. Subramanian, Solana chart, okay, we will see Solana. Lee Lehman, no problem. Yeah, music, we will look Doge. Let's look Dogecoin. Dogecoin, yeah. So Dogecoin, I have this wave count. So Binance feed doesn't have a full chart. So I will show you a full chart on some of, I don't use much for the wave count because this one is rather not so much handy to use. But I will show you a larger time frame in a Dogecoin. So we identified this as a 1-2. So let's go for a weekly and just see how this pattern is developing. So as you can see, we have a very impulsive move from this July 2014. It was going pretty much sideways, and then it staged 5-way move on the upside, 3-way move correction, and then every characteristics of the third move price action is actually seen here, a verticality of angle of ascent. And you can subdivide this still unfinished third wave sequence, which usually comes around 1618. So if you subdivide this, I think we are still in some type of a fourth wave of a lesser degree, which is potentially still not completed because if I switch to this smaller time frame, so this is this expansion, we still don't see a 5-wave move. Maybe I'm going to change this if I see a clear 5-wave move, but for now I see only 3 waves. So that keeps me still in a more triangle or lower levels. So all depend what will happen with the Bitcoin. So I'm going to continue to track this as a more sideways. If we see a 5-wave move without breaking these levels, then I can actually put a wave 4 as a finished one, and then consider this a first impulsive move on the upside. So I still don't know because I don't have a 5-wave sequence. So I'm still going to stay neutral to a little bit more bearish if the Bitcoin breaks the key levels towards this support levels around 0.15. If we trace 5 waves up, then I will place a wave 4 of a larger degree here, and then look for a higher target. So according to this chart, definitely this impulsive move is probably not finished. So either we're going to have a little bit longer consolidation, or this is done, and then we're going to continue higher. So if you are looking at longer term time frames, I think the context is much more important actually than the individual wave count. So the context here is definitely this is a bullish chart, and as you can see here, this consolidation might last or it's finished. We're going to see that if we see a confirmation. But anyhow, even if we go and consolidate sideways, this will result for now into a bullish price development on a Dogecoin. Cake, yeah, we didn't look Cake very much. Let's look Cake. PancakeSwap, yeah. Yeah, so we identified this as a fourth wave. As you can see, this is our support levels. I'm still going to hold this fourth wave without any labels because this can be a finished triangle. But as you can see, I usually look higher time frames just to get a feel and map out the possible path. So if we analyze this, we can possibly say that this was some type of a triangulation concluded where the previous wave 4, and this is an impulsive price action. I will wait 786 to be crossed on the upside, and then I can label the beginning of a possible move up in this one. Definitely correction, a small one, might come before we start higher. So I label this as a 5-way move in the wave 3. As you can see, subdivisions are relatively clear. So there is not much of a, of course, the first wave was pretty much big one on the upside, then we had a small pullback and then a continuation in a clear 5-way move, which I label as a wave 3. Since the wave 1 was so rapid, you cannot get to equality. I mean, I will definitely like to, maybe even if you start to juggle a little bit with this big rise, which I don't think represents clearly a whole of an expansion because it stopped and it makes some type of corrections. I will go to the next 5-wave sequence, expanding further higher, as long as we trade in this consolidation and support levels. Somebody will say that maybe this is a head and shoulder pattern. So you see a left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder here completing. These head and shoulder patterns are usually integral part of the Elliott wave count. So that will be a wave A, up in B, down in C. If you look, but majority of these patterns fails. I don't know exact percentage, but they fail because maybe this is a triangle and then your head and shoulder pattern will fail because after a triangle you have a post 5-wave developments. And I think that is the reason why these head and shoulder patterns actually fails sometimes, because people which are doing just this kind of a plain technical analysis are not able to identify what is going on actually here, and this consolidation, well, it might be a triangle and we're going to continue higher. So as long as we hold this support zone, I will highlight one more support zone here, which will be around 25, which might be a good support for a pullback. And then again, breakout from this level will indicate we're going to continue higher in a pancake swap. Chart looks pretty decent, I would say. Also, RSI is higher, so some correction will be desirable to this midpoint around 50.49 in that one. Yeah, people are also objecting. I see, Kevin, your question. Hello, Kevin. Regarding the Bitcoin 5-way move, this when the things are becoming tricky, because I've seen triangles which looks like a 5-way move, and they were actually, if you look closely to many triangles, you will see one of these patterns clearly mistaken for a 5-way move. I don't know if this is the one. To me, it looks still like a 5-wave pattern. That means actually that we're gonna go either in the X wave or a B wave triangle and then move lower in C to 20K, or we're going to go directly to 20K. So if you consider this to be clearly a 5-wave move, this will be a three-wave move in a flat correction. We're going to go lower. So I want to have a little bit of a leeway, kind of a more, I would say, more conservative approach than calling a 20K, because I see this crypto market total cap charts, and when I see these alts, I want to incorporate that in a possible outcomes and kind of a select few. If you say this is a 5-way move, yeah, I will agree, but I will just say I've seen a triangles which looks like with a very short, with a very big ABC for W, some type of an X wave, and then ABC down for Y. I mean, when it happens and it starts to move on the upside, it's too late to address that. So I'm telling you, I've seen this type of things happens. They are not very common, but they appeared in some of the triangles developments that I looked. Okay, so the best solution for that, of course, is to consider this on this bullish wave count as a flat. So that will be kind of a more appropriate by looking this way, three waves down, 3 waves up, exactly to 127. But then the other things you can discuss about is this lower targets, because for flats, especially running flats. No, this is an expanding one. You can see a 5-wave move completing the wave C exactly at 38.2%, which is the usual label for the fourth wave, any wave degree fourth wave. So if you consider this to be correct, then you will see a little bit more expansion in a Bitcoin and then a bullish continuation. So these subtleties actually are very hard to see. If you like this, many people doesn't like to kind of tire their brains. I do like, because I like puzzles and mathematics. So I like to go through these many possibilities and kind of narrow down a couple of ones, incorporating macro perspective and trying to get a bigger picture so I can orient it more easily and narrow down the probabilities. So I will say I will agree, but just as a notion, be aware that there has been a triangles with a very short Y wave or some type of very skewed down in A, up in B, and down in C. So there is also some pluses for that observation. Okay, so let me see what other participants in this crypto lab wants to see. Do you have any mid-cap altcoins with a 10 times potential by next year? I don't know. I will say I do, but for that you will have to become a member. I don't know how to respond on that. Bancor. Okay, let's see Bancor. Yeah, but I mean, Bancor, I don't know what is this line. It's probably I was explaining something. So Bancor reached equality, but still didn't reach this third wave. And I said this might be some type of a consolidation or completed a lesser degree wave 4. So we cannot go below 2.2. If that happened to Bancor, I mean, probably we're going to continue lower. And probably this line was signifying that. So be careful of these levels. What they want to see is possibly a little bit more consolidation or a continuation on the upside for these targets in a wave 3. So it's a very tricky chart. As you can see, wave 1 was pretty nice. Correction was not in an equal measure, which I see in many cryptos, especially in the beginning stages, because wave A, to that point, Kevin, was much larger than a wave C. As you can see, we didn't reach the equality which we usually look. And then you have a third wave expansion, which actually, you can even make the case this is 1, 2, 1, 2, but the wave degree invalidation is, I think, pretty close. I didn't measure these two. But anyhow, I will kind of like to see Bancor going out of this consolidation in some impulsive move. For now, I will take the case that this consolidation might take a little bit more time, and having in mind we only reached equality or a measured move, I will just be careful until we cleared out, because the next level, if we are going up, are going to be pretty high. If we break this consolidation, we might go to this next target in Bancor. Oh my God, I hate when I do this on this trading view. Yeah. So let me see some more. You would like, Levy Key would like to hear about Solana. Okay. If you like to hear, we are granting wishes here. Let me see a little bit before. I saw some requests which I skipped. Okay, we looked Bancor. Dogen was looking for ENG, injective protocol. I didn't look that one. We got a little bit move on the upside in fifth wave. Also, this can be a part of a flat and an impulsive move. So I will, but wave 2 was very short. So, I mean, this is a tricky part when you can also make the case that you have a 5 waves down, a pullback exactly as in a Bitcoin, and you continue down to these levels. Okay, so be careful. Usually 5 waves down represents a possibility. The only which might turn this over, and look, the RSI, it's starting to move down. So if you see these lows matches, that is a pretty good situation. So just be careful. And that when the Elliott wave starts to be tricky and you to know a little bit more subtleties regarding the how do you drive this tool. So I would look this as a completed 5-wave move, and I will look for a pullback, but my wave count will probably change if I see a little bit more upside above these levels here. So I always stress that. So this is the next target. If I start to see breaking on the upside, I will wait for a pullback for a possible longs. Okay, so situation will change. For now, I will keep this possibility that we might have a 5 waves down, 3-wave pullback, and then a possible consolidation, and that will be confirmed if you break these levels here. So watch out for 8.07, because a clear break will offer a continuation towards this 4.11. Okay. Solana and Luna. Yeah, everybody wants to see Solana and Luna. So Luna is, I think, reached potentially our wave 3 target. We discussed that. I think this is a pretty impulsive chart, and currently I think we have a little bit of pullback to the downside. Maybe wave 3 is still not over, maybe one more push, but then a fourth wave will come eventually for the correction. So Solana looks pretty decent from this wave structure, and I think it's going to continue higher after these pullbacks are done. Solana, I think it's the same in the same situation. So Solana looks pretty nice. Possibly post-triangle trust 5-wave moves are done. So I will look this for a support break of this support, which means that I have to redirect this wave 3 here and look this as a support. So this will be a pretty key levels here. I think around 45 to 36 if we get a 3-wave move, and I will be looking for a little confirmation to put a small risk exposure for the possible wave 3. So if we get this pullback from here or a little bit higher, be sure you're going to see a 3-wave pullback, and watch this area, which is a pretty visible support. And now the this pretty high RSI is starting to move down. Usually it goes in 3 waves towards the next point, and that will also match with these support levels down here around 30, 35. Okay, guys, so I will close today's session with this last request. And just to kind of sum it up, be aware of this crypto market chart. I think it's a very important one to observe. And you can check us out, our crypto service at tradinganalysis.com for a trial. Also, you can go to watch our stocks on a live show every Wednesday at the Todd Gordon's channel. So stay well until next Thursday. You can follow me on Twitter as well. I publish all type of things. That was funny today. I published because I get a question from a member. What is how do you see forecasting in Elliott Wave? I really don't like to use Elliott Wave as a forecasting tool. It is very ungrateful because who can forecast anything? I can just place my possible paths and try to see and wait probability for these paths to unfold. So that's all what you can do. So this was my answer how I consider Elliott Wave forecasting, and this is one of the forecaster. I find this very funny one. So he actually finds the the thing goes to the sleepers and falls down completely. So this is what I think about forecasting in the Elliott wave world. So I don't consider at least advanced practitioners as a forecasters. I think we are more kind of assembling a puzzle and weight probabilities for a potential path and measuring our risk. So this is just the tool. We are not forecasters. So I will leave you with that, guys, and see you next Thursday. Stay well and hit the like button for Crypto Lab with Alex so that more people can um, view these ramblings of mine, and I hope you find some value in it. So see you next time. Bye bye.